Boom.
Bosh! Yes, what's good, everybody? You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. Clout Chasers here. Different type of video today. I thought I'd jump away from all the nonsense that's going on, all the transfers, ins and outs and all this stuff. I put a poll up the other day saying, who do boys think are better? Boys and about 4 girls. Who do you think are better at Harry Kewell and Lee Bowyer? You take out all the nonsense. Obviously, neither of them are perfect. All the nonsense that Bowyer had in the courts and the nonsense where Kewell ended up going to Galatasaray and all the agent debacle and how he took a lot of money off of us, all that stuff. Take that out of it. And to be fair to you boys and 4 girls, you all just answered. There was no like just Kewell hate or, Bowyer hate or whatever. So there was 255 votes. 49% went for Kewell and 51% went for Bowyer. So, as I say, I appreciate you all just answering the question, who was better in the prime. You will get my answer soon. But I thought I'd just run through a few stats, really. So that is really split, isn't it? Obviously, like 120 votes each, more or less. So Bowyer just nipping it. So Lee Bowyer got to semi-finals in Champions League with us. Got to semi-finals at UEFA Cup. Only ever played for England once. He had 604 apps over his entire career, 99 career goals and 45 assists, which isn't mind-blowing, but he had a couple of immense seasons at Leeds. Had a couple of decent seasons at Newcastle. He played the whole time in the Premier League as well, which I think is quite a big thing. He played 54 games in the Champions League season, so 38 games for all 38 Premier League games for us that year, and then whatever the difference is. So what's that? 38 to 54. Don't know, 14 games or something, 16 games or something in Champions League. What a lot of people don't know, which I truly knew this, I've obviously done a little bit of research, but I truly did know this because it's always stuck in my head. Bowyer is my favourite player ever, so I've just revealed that I'm Team Bowyer. But he's actually second top goal scorer in that Champions League season, which is madness when you imagine like the amount of elite players that was in the Champions League that year, like proper like good foreign teams, proper good domestic like English teams. Yeah, and he was only one behind Raul, who got 7. So he got 6. To be fair, there was a few on 6. There's like 4 on 6. I think like Figo's there and stuff, like massive, massive players, madness. But Raul got 7, so Raul got the golden boot. But if you do remember rightly, Raul scored a goal against us. It was a hand of God, and ball he scored. So in reality, if that goal actually gets chalked off, VAR, then he's actually the joint top goal scorer from a right wing position, like proper traditional right wing, like old school right wing, like not this front 3 debacle, like literal right winger. Thought while I'm on the Champions League talk, give an honourable mention. I didn't know, but Ian Hart was the 3rd best assister in the Champions League that year with 6, which is amazing. So above him's Mendieta and I can't remember who else, but when you imagine Mendieta in his pomp was absolutely sensational, wasn't he? He won League Cup with us, and as I say, stayed not with us, sorry, he won League Cup with Birmingham. This is over his entire career. To put into context his goal record, so 604 apps, 99 career goals, 45 assists. David Beckham, who is, I would also say, to be fair, a traditional right winger, like out-and-out right winger, he got 129 goals in 719 games. So he played a lot more games and got 20 or 30 more goals. So, but if you actually take into appreciation that you can take 20 of them goals off due to the fact that they're in America, and that I'm not having that as the same elite level as what Bowyer played in for as long. And he played 118 games in America. So if you take them off, then you're actually talking about pretty much, exactly the same numbers, give or take 2 goals, compared to assists. And then when you add into that David Beckham was just a free, not just a free, I'm not dissing, I'll diss David Beckham if I want to diss David Beckham. But what I'm saying is a lot of his were free kicks will have been, his free kick record actually gets overblown, and not to talk about Ian Hart again, but Ian Hart's ratio to goals to free kicks was always better, at least when he was at Leeds, because that's when I cared about what Ian Hart were up to. So, you know, he's doing the same numbers as David Beckham. Kewell got 58 international apps, but in fairness, so that's 57 more than Bowyer, but it's a much easier side. Bowyer's always going to get an Australian side, isn't he? To be fair to Kewell, he got Young Player of the Year award. He's been voted like Australia's best ever export, which is fair enough, isn't it? Also on Bowyer, I think it's a little bit unfair because that's when he was at his absolute best, banging goals in left, right, and centre for Leeds in Champions League, just dominating. He was sensational that year. He was obviously going through the court case, so that's when he would have been getting his England apps, and he didn't really get them. So in 515 games, Kewell got 124 goals, which is more goals than appearances. And 67 assists, which is more assists than appearances. But, again, 40 of them were at a shit level, like in Melbourne or something that he went towards end of his career, and then Galatasaray, which, you know, is a relatively decent level, to be fair to Turkish League. You know, Galatasaray have been decent in spots, like when they beat us in UEFA Cup, for instance, and that horrendous thing happened. But I would argue that Kewell had a much more forward role. So this was when, I was only a youngster, but Kewell had a bit more of a free. They used to call it like a free role, didn't they? Where you had your banks of 4-4-2 predominantly, and then he would have more of a free role and be allowed to roam a little bit. So not like an out and out left winger. He won FA Cup and Champions League, both with Liverpool. He came up runners up with Liverpool. He's obviously massively blighted with injuries. So I think, in fairness to Kewell, he had the ability to have moments that nobody else on the pitch at any side would have. Like that goal, I think it's against Aston Villa. If it isn't against Aston Villa, it's definitely against David James when he scores from about 160 miles away on volley. It's an outrageous goal. Remember that goal against, I believe it was Sheff Wednesday, with outside at left foot. Like, Bowyer didn't have them moments. Some amazing moments, like goal scorer, last minute goals. I think with that Anderlecht in Champions League, where it's a last minute goal, I think to win us 2-1. Obviously, Dida messed up against AC Milan when we beat them. So, a draw, it's a long time ago now in my head. But my overriding argument, I'm Team Bowyer, so I would say that Bowyer was a lot more effective overall, more dynamic, a lot more aggressive, better at defending, not as good at attacking, but the overall package. It's like on Sky Sports yesterday, they were comparing Declan Rice to Roy Keane and Vieira. Well, they're totally different midfielders, aren't they? Total different level. To be fair to Neville, he actually compared Rice to Essien, which I think is a fairer comparison. I still think Essien's far better than Declan Rice. But yeah, my summary is take all injuries out, take all controversies out, all nonsense out. Team Bowyer. I love Bowyer, always have done. I loved Kewell. It's just a shame about how he sort of ended his career with us when he could have gone on, and he didn't really have to go to Galatasaray, I don't believe, but you make these decisions, don't you? What are you? Never mind what my thoughts, though. What are your thoughts? Because we get more than 255 views on this platform. We are not a media channel. We are all in this together, boy.
The way they've been, the results they've had, 1 defeat in 13. I've got Muppets from Leeds talking about pressures on us and Bamford and Forshaw and a couple of others, and it's over to you and this, that and the other. They got beat 7 times since Christmas. We've been beaten once. We've set it up from Christmas to be in the race.
Boom.